Cars, Rally to the Finish by Annie Auerbach, illustrated by the Disney Storybook artists. German superstar racer Max Schnell had invited Lightning McQueen and some of the other World Grand Prix racers to the first ever Black Forest Rally Race Invitational. Lightning was thrilled. He happily accepted the invitation and asked Mater, Luigi, and Guido to come along with him as his race crew. When Team Lightning arrived in Germany, they were greeted at the airport by Max. "Willkommen," he said. "Gesundheit," Mater replied. He had changed into his Materhosen on the plane and couldn't wait to show them off. "These here are genuine Materhosen," he told Max. "I can give you the name of my tailor if you like." Team Lightning was soon whisked off to a pre-race party. Lightning was happy to see two more of his World Grand Prix buddies there, Spanish racer Miguel Camino and French rally car Raoul Sarul. While Mater helped serve refreshments, Lightning chatted with Raoul. "Nice of you to come all this way," said Raoul, "but I will win the race, no?" "You never know," said Lightning with a laugh. At the end of the evening, Lightning told Mater he wanted to head to the Black Forest to practice on the racetrack. An old gentle car overheard their plans. "Black Forest at night, eh? Just beware of that Waldgeister monster. It's the fastest and scariest monster in the forest." A monster?" said Mater. The old car chuckled and drove off. "I'm sure that monster is just an old legend," said Lightning, as he and Mater drove out to the forest. "I hope you're right," said Mater, relaxing a little. Then he looked at all the surrounding trees. "This place sure is pretty, especially at top speed," said Lightning as he revved his engine and took off. "Wee-hoo! This is fun!" yelled Mater as he raced down a tree-lined path. "I'm happier than a pinto doing the polka." "Last one out of the forest is a rusty tow hitch," exclaimed Mater. Following the racetrack, the two best buddies drifted down the fire road, crossed over streams, and cruised across bridges until they got lost. Lightning had accidentally gone off in one direction, and Mater had driven off in another. "Lightning! Lightning! Hello!" yelled Mater. All that Mater could hear was the wind howling and the trees creaking. Suddenly, Mater felt something brush against him. "Who's there?" he gasped as he spun around. A large, shadowy figure loomed over him. "The Baldmeister monster! Ah!" Mater screamed as he took off backwards. "He's gonna get me! Ah!" He continued to scream. Meanwhile, Lightning was driving through a different part of the forest. He suddenly heard the screaming and headed toward Mater. "Mater, I'm coming!" he yelled. Once the two friends were reunited, they found the racetrack and followed it out of the forest. "The bald tire monster is real," Mater said, shivering. Lightning sighed. "Mater, you're just imagining things. That monster is not real." "He is real," Mater insisted, "and I ain't never going back in that forest again." The next day was race day. Just before the race began, Mater yelled out to the racers, "You guys aren't still going to race in the Black Forest, are you?" "Why wouldn't we?" asked Raoul. "Because there's a monster that lives in there," exclaimed Mater. All the racers grew silent. "El monstro," said Miguel, wide-eyed. "There's nothing to worry about," said Lightning. "That monster is just an old legend." "Okay," said Mater, "but don't say I didn't warn you." The green flag dropped, and the cars were off. Lightning navigated down one of the fire roads and then careened around a tricky curve. Max, Raoul, and Miguel were right on Lightning's bumper as the group broke away from the other racers. All of a sudden, the racers heard a low, grumbling sound that shook the forest floor. Then Lightning felt something brush his side and heard a creaking sound. "What was that?" he yelled. The racers stopped in their tracks and looked at each other, panic-stricken. "Maybe Mater was right," said Lightning. "The Waldgeister monster is real." All the racers took off. They sped down a rocky slope and skidded around turns. They saw shadows quickly creeping up behind them. A ravine was just ahead of them. The racers didn't think twice. They raced forward at full speed and leaped over it. "That monster will not turn me into scrap metal," yelled Raoul. "Ah!" they all screamed. Lightning, Max, Raoul, and Miguel raced for their lives toward the finish line. The fans couldn't believe what they were seeing. All four racers crossed the finish line at the exact same time and broke the rally race record for the fastest time. Lightning, Max, Raoul, and Miguel drove up onto the winner's podium. They had all been awarded first place. "What motivated all of you to race your best today?" asked a reporter. "Well, we couldn't have done it without the Waldgeister monster," said Lightning. Mater glanced back at the old gentle car and gave him a wink.